Now, this is the sound you hear when you was a little kid. You ain't going to sleep. You up all night. There is a place or a realm beyond the physical as we know it. This is the Deeper Than You Think podcast. I'm your host, Ray Villa, and my co-host. Introduce yourself.
How's everybody doing today? I'm Cody Swick.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good today. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. We have a special guest today. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I am Ramon Villa. I am the host's older brother.
This my
First time,
brother.
long time.
First time, long time. My older brother has decided to join us. A lot of knowledge. But what I want to talk about today is UFOs and the alien phenomenon. Before we start, I just want to say thank you for everybody who's downloaded the podcast and everybody who's subscribed on YouTube and watched it. Appreciate it.
Man,
Much
thank
love.
you.
And so my first, I seen a UFO. Is that the right, Ramon?
Yes.
Yes. So, damn, I think I was like 5 years old. This is a good story time right
Oh,
here,
you talk about, when I woke you up?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you tell it.
So I think I was hella young. I can't remember, but I was like 5 or 6 years old. And then I was the youngest one, so I usually fall asleep. I try to stay up late and hella much, but I couldn't do it. So I fall asleep at like 8 o'clock. Then just be like, man, just go to my room, huh? He used to be like, go to my room, go to sleep, because he had the downstairs room. So I just go in his room and fall asleep. And then I just remember I woke up at it was like 2:30 in the morning, and him and my sister was outside the window looking, just perked up. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then there's like, hey, come look at this. So I'll let you set the scene.
It wasn't that early in the morning. It was like dawn. So it was probably like 5:30. It was like the sun was just coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had looked out my window and there's this big ass silver ball in the sky. And I was like, man, I was just staring at it. I think I was like 16. I was just staring up at it, and I'm like, man, I know I'm seeing what I'm seeing right now. But then, you just think it's something. You think it's a cloud or something, so you're just staring at it. But then I'm slowly watching it move. It's just moving and moving and moving. I'm like, hell no, I need to get somebody. So then ran upstairs, woke Ray up. I need you to come downstairs. I need you to see something. And he's just like, what? And I'm like, come downstairs. So we go in my room. And we look outside my window and he can see it. I said, what do you see? And he tells me it's just a silver ball just floating off, just higher and higher into space, just slowly.
That's crazy.
Hey,
yeah, it was trippy.
How high was it though? Like from
It was hella high.
Was it?
It was hella high, and it was crazy because you could still see the shape of it. It was like a tic tac. It's a silver tic tac.
Which is funny because some of like the Navy and Air Force videos were declassified that you can see. Like it looks like a silver fucking tic tac. Like these things that pass them, or the things that they take pictures of floating, like they look like a metallic tic tac, like a fucking jelly belly.
Yeah, that was crazy. So I was like, we talk about that shit all the time. For a good, I don't know, shit.
That was like
15,
probably the
20
first time I really I saw one. I always believed in them. You always had a feeling about them and stuff. I've always been like that.
Used to watch shit like that all the time.
I still do.
That's what's crazy too, is that we're gonna get into our own experiences and how we feel, but like this isn't just new stuff coming out. Like we've all had separate experiences and similar experiences from when we were kids up until now. It's still happening. So I think that's a cool thing too. It's not like it's just like a hobby or it popped up or it's trending. Like, no, these are things that we were not saying nothing to fucking nobody because we were thinking that like people are gonna think we're crazy.
Yeah.
Shit, me and him, we always know. Like, yeah, I remember. Yeah. Like I remember, but it's crazy because I was so young. But as I get older, it's like fades away. So
no, I remember that experience like it was yesterday because that was like the first time I ever seen something like that. It was hella crazy.
It was the
I was like, oh my
introduction.
God. Yeah, it's just like I can't believe I'm seeing it right now. And
Yeah,
it was
that shit
just
was crazy.
open a floodgate.
What about you, man? You ever when you were younger, you ever seen anything?
I didn't see the first UFO, which I thought was a UFO. Probably, I don't know, or like 17, 18 years old, sitting out in front of my house, and I just looking up, and it was, I don't know, like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and you just see what initially you think is like a plane, but then you realize it's not moving, and then it moves lateral, and then it sat there for a minute. It's like just paying attention. Like that's not a star, obviously. If it was a shooting star or fucking something like that, it would be constantly moving. If it was a plane, it would be moving. If it was a helicopter, I'm sure we could hear it and it would be moving. So you're looking at this thing and it just like does a jolt, sideways, and then it's sitting there. And then it jolts again and it's sitting there. And then the fucking thing just disappears. No more shining light. And that was the first time where it was like, what did I just see? Because nothing that I can logically explain just happened. And it was kind of like the same night we were at my house. Remember? I don't know. This is what.
Yeah. Like, I think that was your birthday.
Something like that. I was like 12 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Something like that.
But yeah, it was your birthday. No, it was longer than that.
Me and Ray are sitting. We're sitting in the same spot in front of my house on the porch, and we look up, and we see this light. I wish I still had the video on my phone, but we see this light.
Yeah, we recorded it.
And it's coming, but it's like moving so slow. And then it stopped.
And then it's changing hella colors too.
Yeah, and then it started changing colors and like pulsating. And we were like, what the hell? And then it moved it moved hella fast, like backwards or downs, what it looked like. Yeah. Like it moved hella quick though. Like it was moving super slow, sat for a minute, changed a bunch of colors, and then it went down hella fast. And we were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, this was like at midnight too, huh?
Yeah.
Because we were out there late.
And then it did the same thing. Like it sat there and then didn't it like it disappeared and then it appeared like a couple seconds later, like what would in our minds just be like miles and miles, you know what I mean? Because in the sky, you're looking at 6-7 inches. That's a pretty far distance from how far it looked. And it just kept making movements like that, changing colors. And we were like,
yeah, we were watching that shit for a good 10 minutes too.
What can this be?
Yeah.
Because your logical mind, like you naturally don't go to UFO. You go to
you try to you want to deduce everything physically that you've ever seen in the sky to try to debunk what you're seeing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that shit was
then when you don't have an answer for that, you're just stuck with the UFO. It could be anything though. It's UFO is not necessarily a spaceship. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything.
It's an unidentified flying object.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. When you get to record and you catch it, that's always a good one.
Yeah.
Because whenever I see one or something, I get so stunned that I'm seeing one that I just
get stuck on it.
I don't even pull it on the camera. I just want to watch and make sure I don't lose my sight on it because I'll lose it.
Yeah, hey, when I when I leave for work in the morning, like 3 or 4 in the morning, I'm driving, I'm looking like, what the fuck is that? I'm staring at the damn sky. Should be dangerous, but I be like, man, I know I see something finna be popping out at me. That's what I know. But hey, have you ever had any dreams?
Me personally, no. I've never had any extraterrestrial type dreams. Like I've never been abducted. I've never had dreams where like I saw anything that was extraterrestrial. Just the stuff in the physical form that I've seen.
Do you think the government knows anything about this?
Man.
Yeah.
I got first before we get into this. Let me
All
just
right.
let me just say this for anybody that understands how our government operates. If you think that they've spent all these years filing all these papers, paying all these people to hide all these things and do all this research, and they've spent money building these sites, there's no logical way that you can think that this shit is fake. That there's something that's being hidden.
What if the people are too afraid?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I think that they don't tell us is because a lot of people are stuck in their religion.
Mm-hmm.
And if something like this were to come to light, which it would totally break up people's religious beliefs.
It would destroy the structure of who they are.
You know, the zealots, there's people that are hardcore, like the book is the book. Like True. I follow the book is the truth to them. And for that to be broken, that shatters dreams and people die for that. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It disrupts a lot of money too. You know, if you break that, you take away a lot of power and a lot of money from a lot of people. But that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
That's episode 3.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I actually like that point because you have so many people that just are, their religion or their belief system is that this shit doesn't exist. There's no way that it's fucking real.
I was thinking like the government and Hollywood though, because you like movies like Fire in the Sky. They have it seem like it's all like they're all hella dangerous and stuff.
That's what they want to perpetuate. So because that keeps the government in control, they'll want us to run to the government.
Yeah.
And the movies it keeps it as an excuse to say, hey, that's a fantasy. Like these people are making this shit up. It's something they see in the movies or on TV.
Yeah. Well, shit, a lot of shit I see in the movies, I believe, because
which is funny.
A lot of that happened. A lot of movies that I've seen, I'd be like, man, that shit makes sense.
All those movies have they got a little speck of truth when it comes to anything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just keeping fear on the people of mankind. Fear is controlling us.
It's just simple to me. Like if we're here, how can you tell me that there's nothing else out there?
Shit, I see it as like, man,
that's crazy to think that we're the only ones of this. We're on the edge of our own galaxy. You know what I'm saying?
And we don't even understand how we got here. Like there's no definitive answer on how humanity started. So you're going to tell me that there's nothing else out there?
Hey, it's they can see 300 trillion miles away to different galaxies.
Right.
And we're the only ones here.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like the origin of the Earth itself and humankind, like most of it is just a scientific guess.
I do. I agree with that. Shit, I would also say a lot of our history has been lost just because of Earth changes, I guess. You know, shit. I think our Earth is older than what we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard that, or I've read actually, that Atlantis was so advanced that they destroyed themselves. I heard that it was pretty much like
sounds familiar.
It was pretty much like they were using like telepathy and shit, not using like big tractors and things like that. They're moving rocks with their mind, man.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's
crystals.
Like the forbidden knowledge. That's what they don't teach. That's just like you said. That's that history that they hide from us, and they don't want us to know. It's hard to know about our world history when the people that control us are making up the story. You know what I'm saying? You learn these stories in history class about our country and then all these other things, and then it's not when you get out when you realize that the stuff that they taught us were fucking lies. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard. It's like, hey, you have to research for yourself and try to trust what information you're getting.
Well, at the end of the day, you just gotta search for the truth yourself. And
it's a good point.
You know, It's a journey back to Atlantis and using
Telepathy.
yeah, you know, I believe in that shit because, like I said, man, I don't know if you heard the first episode, but when I talked to Dad,
Mm-hmm.
it was through that, and I was like, well, that shit was real.
Yeah, I heard that when you had said that. That gave me chills because I my stories of talking to Dad after he passed, and my
Yeah,
so I totally understand where you come from because you hear his voice like he's in the room. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, for sure.
And it just
And
shows you that this ain't nothing. It's
shit
nothing.
is deeper than you think, man. The whole reason
Yep.
why we started this
Word.
podcast.
I had that same experience after my grandpa died.
And your grandma.
My grandma too, but my grandpa's was crazy because I was like in between sleep and still awake.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden my body went numb, right? And I got this big ass smile on my face. And the smile wouldn't go away. Like I was like playing with my face, like, why am I just smiling? And I'm still like, I feel half asleep, half awake. And then my eyes, like everything just lights up or it just gets super bright. And my body's numb and I'm smiling. And then my grandpa's face just came right in front of me. And like you said, I could hear his voice. And he just kept asking, how's your dad? Is your dad okay? And I was like, yeah, he's doing fine. And just smiling. And he was like, well, just know that I love you guys and tell your dad that I'm okay and I'm happy. And then I said, okay. And then he smiled and he disappeared. And it was weird that right after he disappeared, I felt my body like kind of like, it almost felt like it kind of dropped a little bit. And I woke up, boom, like I just was out and I was crying, but I still had that smile.
Mm-hmm.
Crying, and I was like, what the fuck? And it just like, it was a moment like that to where I was conscious enough to know that this is happening.
Yeah,
You know what I
sure.
mean? This isn't a dream because I could still hear like my cousin wrestling around in his bed. I could, you know what I mean? Like there was still things going on. I was conscious enough to know that this is happening. And it's weird that when he disappeared, like I knew that spiritually I would never see him again. I was like, he's gone. He's not going to come back.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't felt that before when I've contacted people. You know what I mean? I know they'll come back. I can feel they come back. But with him, it was like I knew like he's gone. That was him saying I'm okay and I'm out of here. But it was cool.
Damn, that's crazy to some people, but not to me.
That's because you're good at telepathy.
Yeah, telepathy. So, let me tell you about a dream I had, man.
All right.
I had a dream.
Preach.
So, this dream was real as hell. Okay, let me just start off by saying that as real as this conversation is. All right, so I was at our old house in Hillcrest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was downstairs and it was nighttime. The kitchen light was on and it was Mom and our sister. And they're like, we going to the store. And I said, oh shit. I said, let me go. I'm trying to go too. I said, let me get my keys upstairs. And this was in your old room before the one upstairs before you went to the Navy. I took over his room. I was Juice. He went to the Navy. I took over his room. It's my motherfucking room. But look,
I got the big
so
boy room now.
they were going out the door. So I was like, hey, hold on. So I run upstairs and I go in the room. The room is empty. But by the window was a thumbtack where my keys were. My keys were hanging by the window and a thumbtack. Nothing else in the room. So I'm like, oh shit, let me get my keys. So I go reach for the keys. And for some reason we had a floodlight out there. So like a motion light.
Mm-hmm.
So I look out the window and Mom and our sister was outside and there were two cars parked in, I remember vividly. Two cars were parked in the driveway and they were parked, they were walking past the side of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, wait. And I get my keys and then boom, bro, this blue fluorescent light hit me. And I was like, oh shit. And I shit you not. Usually dreams, you can't feel nothing. But this light hit me, and it was just straight. I was stuck. I was stuck. Couldn't move. I felt in the vibration. I'll never forget the vibration. The vibration through my whole body. I was like stuck. And I was slowly going up. And I was like, what the? In my head, I was panicking. Like, what the fuck is this? Tripping. My heart was beating fast. And I was going up. I was like, oh, damn. And then I couldn't see above because I was stuck. Like, it was very hard to look, to move my body. Frozen. And I was just like, oh, shit. And then I remember I was looking up, and then I see it was just like a black mass. And then right when I was about to go in, I woke up. I was like, God damn. I was like, I will never forget that vibration. That was the realest shit I've ever felt. I've had lots of dreams, but I've never had a dream where I felt anything. And that vibration, it goes through your whole body. And I'll never forget that. Can nobody tell me that shit wasn't real?
Yep. I had the same
it's
kind
as
of dream
real
too.
as a kick in the shin. And I'll never forget that. I was like, man, I'll never forget that vibration. The vibration from the being. Bro.
How do you feel? We're all very adamant, right, that these things have happened.
Can't tell me shit.
Yeah, and that we've seen these things like sober-minded, clear-minded, however you want to call it. What do you feel? Do you think that there's true ammunition from the skeptic side? Because obviously we come across people that just don't believe. Like my dad don't believe shit. He don't. If he can't see it, touch it, smell it, it doesn't fucking exist. It's not a thing.
A lot of times they're not gonna believe it.
It's hard to explain the story to people, but then also get them to understand, like, look, bro, I'm just as logical and as sane as you are. This just happened to me. Like, I'm not making this shit up for fucking attention. Like, I think it's fucking weird, but it happened and I can't fucking deny it.
Definitely can't. Look, I could only speak for myself. If you don't believe, that's on you. It's just my truth, So if you're skeptical about it, I mean, shit, I'm a firm believer of extraterrestrials and shit like that, right? But if you don't believe it, man, I mean, shit, you got your opinion, you have your truths. I mean, I'm not here to change your mind, but this is just my truth. That beam, I'm telling you, bro, I felt that through my whole body.
No, let me tell you my experience, because your experience is similar to mine. And Mom went to Kansas,
right.
I was watching the house for her, and I was sleeping in the office, and Jace used to bark a lot, but
the dog, yes.
Yeah, Jace, my mom's dog, would bark a lot because my mom's house it's like a portal. It's crazy over there.
Very much so, yes.
So
it's a lot of energy.
I was sleeping in the office, and whenever I slept in the office downstairs, I would bring Jace in the room because that was the only time he wouldn't bark all night. He'd just be chilling. So I went to sleep in there, and I woke up walking. You've been in my mom's house, Cody. You know my mom's backyard, and how she has the bars.
It's weird that you said that, because I was just when you were done, I was gonna ask you about the backyard.
So I was outside of her back fence, and I was walking, and I had a blanket on, and I could feel the cold on me, and I'm walking towards this hill behind my mom's house, and I could feel the tan bark under my feet. I'm barefoot, and I'm kind of coming out of it, and I'm like, looking to my left, I see my mom's backyard, the motion lights on because I passed it. And I'm like, why am I walking out here? And then I could feel my body was like it felt hella crispy, bro. I was getting like hella crispy. And then the light hit me, and there was this light on me, and
wait. What color was the light?
It was white. It was just white.
Oh shit.
And it hit me like a spotlight, but when it hit me, I couldn't move no more. But I heard this sound. And it was like, this is the best way I could explain it. It was like, woo, 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 woo. And then I could feel it. I could feel the beam like it was locking on me. I could feel it in my
Just like
body. It was
heavy
just the
energy.
vibration,
Yeah.
just like you
vibration.
said, Ray. It was like a vibration. I could feel it. I knew what it was doing. I was like, this thing's trying to lock. It's locking onto me, and then I could still move my head, but I couldn't move my body. So I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my God. And I know what's going on because I'm out
Yeah.
there like that anyway. So I'm like, am I about to get, so in my head, I'm like, am I about to get picked up? Am I getting picked up right now? And then right when I said that, bro, I just shot straight up in the air, bro. And it felt like, it was crazy. It was
it
just,
fast?
No, it was steady. I was just going up slow, nice and steady at like a 45-degree angle. I was still going straight up, but I was still coming up at an angle. And I could move my head. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, where's the ship at? And then I looked straight ahead and I could see it was like Predator. I could see the outside, the silhouette of it, but it was cloaked. Ray, you know that hill right outside of Mom's to the left. It was sitting on top of the hill, probably like 30 feet above that hill. And I was going up straight, and it was just sitting there, and I could see like right in the middle, like right on the lower part of it, of the saucer, it was saucer shaped. Where it was cloaked, these doors open, it was black. And I knew that that's where I was going. And I could feel my heart, my heart was pounding, bro. Cause I was like, I was like, I was scared, but at the same time I was juiced because I was asking for this in my dreams. I'm like, man, I'm like, if y'all ever pick me up, you know what I'm saying? Just like, I want to remember it. But then I was getting closer and closer and my heart was pounding. But I was like, all right, in my head, I was just telling them, I was like, listen, you guys got to do what you got to do. I understand that. So I was like, I'm so excited right now. I think I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. So just put me out. Let's keep this easy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And right when I said that, bro, my vision just faded to black. And I woke up in the office and Jace was looking at me like, my dog was like looking at me like, what the hell just happened? And
the fuck?
I called my mom hella quick, like, oh my God, I think I just got taken. It was just trippy and shit, man.
That's crazy. That's what I want to ask you about your mom's backyard. Have you guys ever experienced extraterrestrial or paranormal? Is there something in your mom's backyard in that back, like when you come out of the back door in that back left corner? Because literally every time I've ever been at your house, like the energy draws me to that back corner of the backyard. Like literally every time I'm at your house, there's at least one moment where I acknowledge that something's drawing me to that back corner of that backyard.
I would say nothing in the backyard, but in the house, yeah, for sure.
It's like it's the whole spot. It's everywhere.
It's
the whole house.
Your mom got that energy, man. She been bringing that shit home.
It's just it, you know.
He's the Almighty.
The Almighty. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, but the beam, though, yeah, for sure. That beam.
Ray, the other night you were talking about the vibrations. The other night when I was meditating, I was just meditating, so I wasn't asleep or trying to sleep. I was meditating, and literally it felt like my body lifted up, like I was weightless, and it felt like I was pulsating, like vibrations, like I could feel it, and it felt like my body was just whoom, 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 whoom. And I was locked in like that, bro, for like 20 minutes, but it felt like forever. But I was locked in, and then I remember coming out of it and just feeling my whole body just relax, and I could feel everything. But I was like stuck, and I was just whoom, 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 whoom.
I just think you were just your vibration was getting.
You were on
higher
the zone, bro.
Yeah, you were just having a higher vibration, so you're just like upgrading and shit.
That's the good stuff right there.
It was the first time I ever felt like. I mean, I've been, I felt different things, but that was the first time I was like, this is new. I've never felt this strong of a feeling physically.
Yeah, that shit crazy. But I think that was my first dream I had, where I was just like, I knew for a fact, hands down, that shit was real as hell.
What gets me is all this shit worldwide. Like what we're talking about and the experiences you've had, people have the same type of stories and they see the same type of things. And Like you said, the color of the light, like you're not the only person to make that up. Like if there's so many people across this world that have never communicated, but they see the same shit and experience the same things, like how do you argue with that?
Shit, I don't know. I mean, people just sweep it under the rug, but
They don't want to believe it. They're scared.
It's
I
a
mean, it
slow
could be that.
awakening.
It is.
Slow awakening, yeah. Say that shit you was talking about earlier today. You was talking about the you was giving a speech and I told you to save it for the show.
Oh, about the people of the future.
Yeah.
So they said that spiritually or the universe, whatever you want to attribute it to, is we're going through a period of humankind where there's going to be an awakening, and the people that are already in that mode or feel these things or understand that, like they're going to create a new, I don't want to say race, but like a new mankind. Like it's going to be people from all walks of life that are spiritually on this level, and they're going to guide humanity into the next,
like a new Earth,
the next age of humanity.
Oh shit! Hey, I believe that. I mean, we're all about evolution, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to, though, right? You're supposed to,
Yeah,
supposed to do better every
supposed to evolve
generation. Yeah,
and not be stagnant. It's all about evolving as a human, as a race, one race, and making the world a better place. You dig? Yo, check this out though. Dream number 2. I ain't trying to give away all the goods, but I'll just let you know about this one. I was at Reek House. For some reason, I was there. And I remember I was sleeping in his house. I go downstairs. I'm walking, and I go to his back window. For some reason, I like to go to the back windows. And then boop, beam hit me. Stuck. Couldn't move. It was a blue beam again. I said, God damn it. Once again. I'm like this though, because I'm just stuck. The vibration is hitting me. I knew it. I was like, oh damn. But I'm like, I'm facing up though this time. So I can see the ceilings and shit. And then I was like, damn. I was like, how the hell are they gonna pull me out this damn room with the ceilings, right? I was like, oh my God. And I don't know if you played Fortnite, but you know how
No.
when you building shit and you ain't built it yet, but you trying to place it, and it's like you want to put it here, and it's like kind of like transparent.
Yeah.
Bro, it was like that. Like I went through the motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
It was like transparent. Like it was just like it was gone, and then, but right when I got to the door, lights out, baby, rockabye, gone. Woke up.
Ray, how old were you when you had your first dream? The first dream you told us, and then between the
This
first
one?
dream and the second dream.
Oh man, shit. The first one was, I think this was like shit, like I want to say like 5 to 8 years ago.
And then the second one.
This one was probably a year or 2 ago. So, bro, I'm telling you, that beam me up, Scotty. Gone. I believe they're real. I've seen some shit. I felt some shit. And, shit. What more can I say? Former President Donald Trump signed a $2.3 trillion COVID-19 relief bill. This is old, by the way. And attached to that was the Intelligence Authorization Act, which gives the Central Intelligence Agencies, the Pentagon, the FBI, and other agencies 180 days to provide documents regarding unidentified flying objects, commonly known as UFOs. This was, I believe, was it December or something like that?
Mhm.
The CIA released more than 2,700 pages of documents, which you can find at theblackvault.com, which is dedicated to publish declassified U.S. government documents. And this comes more than a year after the U.S. Navy confirmed the existence of UFOs.
And I'm going to pull this up so the
Go
viewers
ahead.
can check it out. So each one of these is a case document.
Right.
Okay. Every single one of these. So you can go, you can see up here, you go to theblackvault.com. Okay. And this isn't something that somebody started on the internet. This was in a fucking bill in our country for us to release this. So I don't know. It's hard for me to be a skeptic. If you believe in your government and you believe all that stuff, it's hard to not believe that UFOs exist now, because why would they have all this information and why they have been hiding it for this long? So you can go through and click on any one of these documents.
Anyway, hey, click on one.
I'm going to click on this one right here.
Sure. As it's loading. That's just one. What's this document about?
This one is actually, this is a document from Russia, USSR National Affairs.
Oh, they telling everybody else, but our shit.
Yeah.
It says,
So, hey, this happened in Russia.
Hold on, stop scrolling. It says unusual natural phenomenon observed in. I can't even read that shit.
You have to
Moscow though, but Russia, yeah.
Moscow, yep.
So there's hella documents on
this is
all types of
things,
man.
from 1977, which is crazy. There you go, approved for release. 220 February 2020. No, I think that's a page number.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's crazy. I remember when they did put this out, I was texting hella people. I was flooding the streets with this.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody gave me any feedback about it. I was mad as hell. I was excited. I was like, what?
What are the odds that the stuff that the Navy shows is their ships?
That's a good fucking question.
Say what?
But
because it's funny that
say the UFOs are, the government, they re-engineered, they made some UFOs, so they're ours. They flew them out in front of the pilots and shit. The pilots don't know that that's ours. And they're testing it for, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're revealing the information. It's kind of like a hidden message, kind of like, hey, we got this.
Well, that is funny, because that's
definitely a possibility.
That brings me to Project Aquarius. I'm glad you asked that question. And that is a program to test for or fly recovered alien spacecraft established in 1972. Look that up. Project Aquarius.
Let me show you something real quick, though, just to go off of what Ramon was saying. Another thing is like, okay, there's been a lot of this unrest and all these shows coming out, and the community is growing stronger, right, of support of UFOs and the government knowing shit. So they release stuff, right? But they still release it with classified markings on it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they still they release their files, which these are legit files.
I mean, are they legit though?
Yeah.
What if they just, stuck some shit on it?
If you release this and you cover up all the actual shit where people can dig deeper into the story and get the actual information, they're hoping that this is enough to keep people quiet. This is enough to keep people gossiping and talking for the next 20 fucking 30 years and doing research into this. You know what I mean? And then when some shit comes out, then they'll take a little more away and a little more away. But for now, this keeps people going. It keeps people from freaking out, and it keeps people from also knowing the fucking truth.
Well, my take on it is, remember when former President Donald Trump was making that Space Force, and everybody's calling him a dumbass. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then now he signs the bill, like release all the shit for the UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why would he want to make a Space Force? What's he fighting against?
Right.
I think they already got it, and that was his excuse into, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Like, it was always been there. He's trying to reveal it now. So
But
if that is the case.
If that is the case, indeed.
Why would you have a building that's inaccessible for miles and miles and miles and have it so heavily protected in such a big secret? Like, why? What's the benefit of having that for no reason?
You're speaking on Area 51, aren't you?
Yes.
That's not even the bad one, though. The bad one is the dual C base. They're using the alien technology to make a superior weapon.
Okay. That's what I was finna say. But look, check it out. Like Roswell and shit, right? You got UFOs crashing. They're taking the shit, possibly using the technology to build crafts, build weapons, which brings me to, I don't know if y'all know Bob Lazar. Have you heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The whistleblower. He when he worked at Area 51, and he's talking about how they're making anti-matter reactors and things like that. He said he's seen ships with, what is it, USA flags on them and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So man, they could be just mass producing this shit now.
Yeah.
And just
taking
them for a spin.
That camp he was talking about.
Oh yeah. What was you talking about?
The Dulce base in New Mexico.
Oh shit, I ain't heard about
Bro,
that.
because if you people that go to investigate that base, you could end up missing, because it's supposed that they have multiple levels and that they work with the aliens, and that the aliens are in the lower levels and they do genetic experiments on people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how like the cases that, like, there'll be cases of people that just end up just going missing for no reason, just disappearing for no reason.
Damn.
And you know, just a lot of theory is that they get taken and brought there so they could get experimented on, like a homeless, or you know, people that people don't look for. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people that
Kids,
won't be missed,
runaways, and you watch you don't see a lot of things about that base because they tend to shut that down. They'll let you talk about Area 51 all you want, but if you look into that base in New Mexico, they don't mess around with that one. Like, it's hard to try to do research on that. It's not a lot on it.
After everything you said, I'm not gonna look into that. So, thank you.
So
he said you come up missing, but go ahead, search it up.
Yeah, you come up missing.
No, thank you.
That's like if you went there. Like there was some show I watched on History Channel. They went there to try to investigate the area, and there was a Indian reservation over there, and they they would tell them stories of Apache helicopters landing and weird lights over there and stuff, and they couldn't get close to it because the government comes up on you and
they shut that shit down real quick.
Yeah,
they ain't playing.
Are you gonna be one of the experiments? Wake up with like 8 legs and 8 arms? Be fucked up.
Right? 8 legs and 8 arms. That just comes with a lot of expectations, really.
There was another extraterrestrial documentary I was watching. They were interviewing one of the president's daughters. They were talking to her, and she said, "My dad went AWOL for, I don't know if it was 48 or 72 hours, where he just disappeared. Right? He wasn't doing none of his presidential duties." And they asked her, like, "What do you think happened to your dad?" And she's like, "Honestly, I think he was meeting with extraterrestrials." And they were like, "What? Like, explain that." And what she said was that the aliens came down, had a meeting with him and his people, and that was one of the things they said was that humans aren't ready to see us. Like, the humans would be too scared.
Hell yeah.
They wouldn't know how to react. But he said that they made a deal for abductions to happen so that the aliens could do genetic testing.
Yes.
Like that was her story. That was coming from a US president's daughter of something that was told to her, that they came down and that they were going to abduct people to do, and that the US government has files of all the people that were chosen for these abductions.
Well, that is very interesting. If you ask me, I believe that shit.
I mean, you got to pay me a lot of fucking money to make that shit up and live with that. You know what I mean? Because to me, UFOs is a big topic. At the same time, I understand that documentaries are part of television and people can literally say whatever the fuck they want to say. But you also have to go with your gut at the same time when you're dissecting these things, whether you believe these people or not. And I don't think she was completely making that shit up.
Hey, the shit that I've seen and witnessed ain't nothing surprising me, dude. Nothing. Ramon, your thoughts?
This world is a mysterious place, man. And it just, a lot of people need to come outside of their box because that's not what's happening. There's a lot of stuff, man.
Because ultimately, we're just DNA cells in the universe. Humans we're not superior in any way to anything that's existing. We're just coexisting.
True. We're all living a life experience.
So who's to say they're not walking around with us?
Oh, that's definitely going down. Like Men in Black.
Ramon, you got any more dreams?
I have a lot. We'd be here for 3 hours if I told you all the shit that happened to me. I'm like, and then when I was 12, I ain't go into it, man. I'm older. I've experienced a lot. I always had something going on with it, with paranormal, alien stuff. That's me.
I can't wait to get into paranormal.
The people that know me, my friends know, I'm not afraid to share my experiences with them because they know that I've been there. So
dope,
which is good.
Well,
yeah.
Let's wrap this shit up then, huh?
You got a final thought for us?
I got a final thought. Let's see. I would say identifying different aspects of who we are, because we are more than what we think we are. And thank you for listening. This is Deeper Than You Think podcast. Be the master of your own happiness. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. Life is but a dream.